A collision of seeds 1 and 2. Eric Schultz, Big Ten runner-up a year ago. And Myles Amine, he's a two-time Big Ten runner-up, so one of these guys will win a Big Ten title here in 2021, both undefeated. Looking forward to this match here at 197. Schultz out of Tinley Park, Illinois. Amine from Brighton, Michigan.
Myles Amine.
Amine, Detroit Catholic Central, won a couple of
Nebraska,
state titles. There you see Myles Amine, the Olympian Myles Amine, coming off an Olympic red shirt, qualified for the Olympics for San Marino with a 5th place finish at the 2019 World Championships. And here you see the paths for Schultz and Amine. Schultz over Cameron Caffey of Michigan State in the semifinals. And Amine over Jacob Warner of Iowa, a 3-1 match. We were speaking earlier about giving up that first takedown and continuing to wrestle. But what was your attitude? What's the mentality when you give up that first takedown?
Yeah, very interesting enough. We've seen Spencer Lee, Ironman, Sasso, and Brooks all give up the first takedown and all come back to win. So, you know, that's something that just shows the grit and determination and just the will to keep wrestling in the match, because, you know, I would say it's a high percentage of guys who get the first takedown generally win. So it's cool to see that in the finals with these tough competitors being able to give that up and then come back and get wins.
We'll see if that trend continues here in this 197-pound final. With that win from Aaron Brooks, the #1 seeds, 8 for 8. Schultz, the #1 seed here at 197. We'll see another #1 in Gable Steveson at heavyweight. Here's Amine with a leg attack.
Nice job here by Amine. He's usually likes to attack below the leg, but he's going to go ahead and switch to a double, and he just keeps his lower body churning and is able to roll Schultz over onto his hip and collect the takedown.
Really did a nice job of getting in and then keeping his head really tight to the hip, using it as he cut the corner, came across, cut across, and got that too.
Well, you know, this is a style matchup here for Amine. He likes to, attack to that leg that has the knee pad on it right there, and he ends up. That's where Schultz likes to go ahead and really push his underhook. We've seen him really dominate, matches physically, I guess would be the right way to say, with a lot of his opponents at 187, because he's been able to drive with that on that right-hand side. But Amine doesn't give it to him and just walks into that leg.
Schultz, 2020 runner-up. He fell to Colin Moore of Ohio State. That was the Buckeyes' 3rd Big Ten title. Only Bo Nickel kept Moore from getting 4.
Look at Amine's technique of staying away from that right-handed underhook. He threw his head to the outside of it, controlled the elbow. Doesn't get caught pushing in, and now all of a sudden, beautiful shot. Drives all the way through, caught Schultz reaching a bit.
Still green.
Couple of takedowns for the Wolverine Amine. Good start, up 4-1 inside of a minute first period.
A couple of years ago, Amine was at 174. He looks all of the 197. We wondered whether he would be able to. There's Coach Sean Barnett, and he said he's in the weight room, he's training hard, and then, of course, he's going against Abinator and Derringer and the weight training focus. He's everything he needs to be at 197.
In the first match we saw him, after the layoff with the Olympic red shirt year, he wrestled the Beard freshman from Penn State. Never really got an offensive attack off, but was able to go ahead and be the wily veteran and catch Beard in a couple of counters. But then you begin to worry about, well, not worry, but just wonder about, Amine at 97. And then he had this match against Cam Caffey that we saw on the network, and he's lit him up. And Caffey's a pretty solid wrestler.
We talk about him being the wily veteran right there. There's Schultz in on that leg, because the last 2 times Schultz has been a little over-aggressive. And Amine was, he basically pulled Amine right into his legs.
Bo, like Amine, you were a 174-pounder and ended at 197. What was that transition like?
For me, it was pretty natural. I was growing a lot through college, kind of matured a little bit later. So, obviously hitting the weight room and adjusting to the different paces of the match was important, but it felt pretty natural for me and, not forced at all. So it was definitely a good move for my career.
Amine, 2 takedowns, doubling up the Cornhusker. And he'll take a 4-2 lead to the second period. Here's another look, Bo, at that takedown from the Wolverine Amine.
Does a nice covering ground on his shot, making sure he's getting the corner here. He's trying to protect his ankle. And with the finish, just continuing to rotate, windshield wipe the feet, and then cover the hips right there for 2. Solid technique by Amine there.
I like that. Windshield wipe the feet. Good stuff. Amine starting second period on bottom.
Neutral.
And a quick escape. And Amine tacks on another 5-2 now the lead.
Everything's been quick for Amine here. He came out with a sense of urgency and has really done a nice job of executing.
Amine, 2-time Big Ten runner-up, fell to Mark Hall of Penn State in both those contests. 3-time All-American. He was 4th in 2017, 3rd in both 2018 and 2019. And here he is again on the attack.
I think what makes Amine a little bit unique is that you start hanging on his collar tie, he's going to catch that reach and drive back in and get to the shot. And he did there, didn't finish, but a lot of guys will try to back away from that or just duck out of it. And he tries to use that reach and use that, goes right into his shot, and he's been very successful with it.
Schultz has shown a lot of improvement during his time in Lincoln. He's been to the tournament a couple of times, 2-2 record at those events. But last year, he really took some big steps up, didn't he, Tim?
Yes, he did. And right here on this corner, it's important for Schultz not to lose that shoulder. Nice job, stalemate.
See, Sean Bourmet was a Michigan man himself. NCAA finals for the Wolverines. Speaking of Michigan men, the Amine, the whole family, they bleed the maize and blue.
They really do. And such great tradition. And Mike, national runner-up for Michigan, the father of Myles, and we saw Cam earlier, the freshman at 165, and his dad, Sam. They all were Michigan Wolverines.
Get out of fingers.
Malik Amine, another Amine that was in the lineup. He was wrestling in Italy this weekend, I believe.
Yes, and had he fought well and had a good tournament. They've just been a great family for wrestling and for that part of Michigan and for the Wolverine tradition.
Center.
The second period comes to a close.
Stop.
And they're great entertainment when they're in the crowd, right, Jim?
Well, I've said this before, but nothing gets your heart rate up faster than watching your kids compete. And it's fun watching the Amine family all get behind their sons.
Green. Cover and hold. Here we go. Remember, you got 2 cautions. Hold it.
But I want to ask you a question. Just now we saw Sean Bourmet. Speak about the communication and the importance of the corner and the athlete.
I think that, that's definitely, if there's a break in the action or something like that, it's important. But I would say at this point, most of the coaching's done. The mid-match adjustments are left to the wrestler, and as a coach, you can only do so much. But at this level, I would say, the preparation prior is much more significant. During the match, it's up to the guy to go out there and get it done.
Yeah, I think the coach is just basically trying to give the athlete reminders of things that they've already worked about, talked about.
Amine continues moving forward, trying to suck up a single leg.
This is where he's just unusually strong in this position, where a lot of guys will just, just work for the stalemate. That's probably what Amine's going to do in here, but he doesn't give up this position. And a lot of times will go ahead and advance, pop his head up, and improve his position.
Bo, if you're Schultz right here, how do you open up Amine and get yourself an angle, get yourself back in this match?
Got fingers.
Schultz is definitely wearing on him a bit here. I would say, Amine's keeping shooting, so run around a shot exactly like he just did, but he's been on the leg so many times. He's got to get to a quick finish, so I would try to pull him down and get to a double leg, maybe more so than get on a single leg, just because he's been stalemated so many times.
Yeah, Amine's doing a great job of cutting the corner.
No one improving. On the line, get set. Set.
55 seconds away is Myles Amine from that elusive Big Ten championship. Just up by 2.
Yeah, and Amine's in hold the hold the lead mode.
Center.
You got to be careful
Action
not to get
center.
pushed off.
Circles back inside.
Action center. Warning on green.
There's a
Warning
good call on
green.
Amine. Warranted stall call. And he wisely gets back in on the legs of the Cornhusker Schultz.
Yeah, Schultz is walking back in, almost assuming that Amine would back up there. He waited for him, and then all the action is Amine can control on the edge there as he dives in on the leg. He can control the
24
clock.
seconds.
You
Well
mentioned
done.
Michael Beard of Penn State. Amine beat him 8-6 in sudden victory in the quarters. That was a stiff test before the semifinal victory.
I think that Beard's going to have a heck of a career, so that's showing himself pretty well. I don't know how he finished up in the tournament, but Amine closes it down with one more takedown.
Great to see Amine get this championship. He has been close, and this time he gets his hand raised, and like you said, Jim, that's quite a wall at Michigan that he will add his name to.
Just like Michael Kemmerer, the third time is the charm. Myles Amine, Big Ten champion for the Wolverines at 197 pounds.
On mat number 2.
High five from Sean Bormet as Schultz makes his way out of the venue.
Pretty solid body of work right there with this finish. In the first period, switching off to a double, getting the shot right there on the counter action, switching to the far ankle. He just seemed to have Schultz measured all the way through the match, and this little go behind at the end in the third period was pretty impressive as well. 7 points. The nice thing about Amine is he can win that. You can win a title with that type of style here, manufacturing points.
Let's send it down to Ray Flores. He's with the newest Big Ten champion, Wolverine Myles Amine.
Thank you very much, Shane. Myles, congratulations on your first Big Ten championship. 2 times were unsuccessful for you. How does it feel to finally add this to your hardware?
Of course, it's a great feeling. I came up really short, or really close to winning a Big Ten title 2 years before my Olympic red shirt, but it feels great. But to be honest, I've been writing out a goal for the last several months, and it involves something that's 2 weeks from now. So, job's not finished.
Your family is embodied in the fabric of Michigan wrestling. What does it mean for you to don the maize and blue singlet?
That legacy, that tradition's everything to me. I thought about that before this match. How do I want to leave my family legacy? And I try to just go out there. It doesn't matter about the wins or losses, but just represent my family, represent the University of Michigan and my teammates the best I can. So, yeah, Michigan is family.
Sean Bormet, your head coach, says that you are a leader in the room, that you set forth a wonderful example for the younger guys. Can you tell us about how special of a group these Wolverines are?
I consider these guys like my brothers. It's funny, I'm like the grandpa or the dad of the team at this point, being 6 years in. But, the freshmen are like some of my best friends, I love hanging out with those guys. And, right when they come in, it's like you're part of, entering a part of a family. And so, every year it seems like we gain some more brothers, some more teammates. And, we're really putting together something special at Michigan. It's going to be a name that is going to be on the college wrestling scene at the top of the standings for many years to come.
Myles, congratulations on your first Big Ten championship.
Thank you.